Hey there, friends. Welcome back to some more Shadowrun Dragonfall. When we last left off, we finished up Glory's mission, and we went back to the Brazar. We took care of the little... Okay, control my camera, please. There we go. We took care of the little, or big, demony thing from hell, and we saved a bunch of cultists. So now we're back at the Brazar. And we're gonna go talk to Glory and Jaeger real quick, get a wrap up on their little questies, see if they have anything to say, and then we're gonna get on with the rest of the game. Finally. So let's see if she's got anything to say. We should talk about what happened with the engineer. Agreed. I'm ready to go over it if you are. So the engineer was working for a secret society. I wasn't expecting that. Neither was I. A part of me is still having trouble believing it. But it's true. Yuli wasn't lying. I could see it in his eyes. Have you been doing any digging on Winter Night? No, there isn't much reliable information out there. Whoever these guys are, they're very good at information control. None of my contacts could find anything but rumor and conjecture, and most of that is too crazy to even consider. How crazy are we talking here? Completely insane. Stories about magical nukes and the end of the world, Fenris shamans, Ragnarok, that kind of thing. Like I said, nuts. There are a lot of crazy things on this world. That doesn't mean they're not real. Yes, there are, and no, it doesn't. But this is just too far out of me for too blah 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 blah. I read well. I know how to enunciate. But this is just too far out for me to accept. It's far more likely that they release the stories themselves to throw people off whatever they're really doing. Anyway, we should stop them cold as we stopped them cold as shot nest. Whatever their business is, whatever they're going to be, whatever was going to be in those crates that the engineer was having shipped there, it isn't our problem anymore. The Brazar is safe. On that front, at least. Yeah, it is, and we've got you to thank for that. You don't don't downplay that, what you did back there. Anyway, we shouldn't let it go to our heads. We still have a dragon to worry about. Have you had a chance to play with that rifle that we got from the engineer's stash? Yeah, it's a beautiful piece of engineering. Shoots straight, has a good stopping power, holds a big magazine. A really nice gun. Mentioned a bunch of aftermarket mods when we found it. Have you figured out what they do yet? Just one. It can tag a chambered round with an RF transmitter. After the round hits a target, the transmitter pings on a designated channel, broadcasting to contacts or the target's exact location to anyone listening in. In layman's terms, you can use this thing to mark a target. There's cyberware that does the same thing, and the Deckers do it all the time. But this is the first time I've seen this thing in a functionality of a rifle. Not bad at all. Agreed. I've been reluctant to cart an AR along with me up until now. In my opinion, the added mid-range stopping power didn't justify the trouble of carrying another big, bulky weapon into the field. Being a walking arsenal is fine and good, but it's also noisy and cumbersome. And those are two things that every sniper tries to avoid. This thing adds enough utility that I think it's worth the extra weight. I'll find a way to make it work. When I left the room to search for clues, the engineer told you something that pushed you over the edge. Her eyes narrow. That son of a bitch said a lot of things. What of it? I want to know what he told you. With all due respect, that's none of your business, Sultan McFarkles. Should we push? Yeah, we should put. Well, it's what everybody has their secrets, right? Everybody does. And he's gonna get the crap beat out of him anyway. So, whatever. We're gonna do this one. Takes a long time for her to respond. When she does, her voice carries a tone of resignation. You really want to know? Alright, fine. I'll tell you. He told me about a bunch of Polish towns that my unit... Oh. Yeah, how they went back in afterwards. And... Oh, okay. But okay, so apparently... this was something he said earlier. It's like, did you want to know about how, like, we swept back into the towns and blah, blah. Apparently they beat, raped, and killed. Tortured. Talking about how much she liked it. And stuff. So this is really nothing new. So she just beat him. Wow. She got mad. And if you have a problem with that, you can go and get fucked. My problem isn't with Yuli getting punished, it's the fact that you let him play you. Boom! Maybe, but I can't ignore the possibility that he wasn't playing me. Oh, so we're actually getting into something. If I leave things the way they stand, there'll always be some hope that he was lying. But if I dig into this and find that he was telling the truth, if I find out none of what we did meant anything, even if he was telling the truth, that doesn't validate what your unit was doing over there. Doesn't it? Our actions might have drawn attention to those people, made them targets. They were already targets. You need to quit beating yourself up over this, Jaeger. It isn't like you. She gives you a brisk nod. You're right, it isn't. No more moping about. I promise, and I will look into this. Sultan McFarkles. Whatever this trail leads me, I'll follow, and I won't stop until I find the truth. I'm willing to help you see this through if you want the help. She shakes her head. Thanks, but no. Not now, at least. At some point after we're done with what we're doing, I'll look into this. I'll get the truth, whatever it might be. I'm not going to do it today. When you're ready to start looking and calling me for help, I got your back, Jaeger. I know, and I'm glad. Now let's change tact. Is there anything else you need? Run. No, we're done. No, nothing. So that's Jaeger's done. I mean, it was interesting, but not nearly as interesting as who I think they spent most of the time putting the story into is Glory. Glory stands an introspective look on her face. At the sound of your approach, she turns to face you. She nods at you. Thank you for your help at Furestel. I couldn't have done it without you. Speaking of which, I was meaning to talk to you about that. After the things we saw in there, I'm not surprised. Go ahead, Sultan McFarkles. I'm listening. What'd you do with the cultists that you rescued? Did you send? Well, asked if you sent them to Samuel. No, he has enough to worry about keeping the people of the Brazar safe. Those kids we rescued, they've been damaged by Harrow's philosophies. They can get better, but it's going to take time. Trying to integrate them into our society too quickly would be dangerous. So where'd they go? I took them to the talismonger Algernon. He said that he knew a place where they could get help. It won't be easy for them or quick, but they'll get better in time. Did you see Marta after she ran off? Do you think she's okay? Her expression clouds. I don't know. I don't even know if I want her to be. She was the first person I ever really loved, and that doesn't make up for all the pain that she's caused. Harrow did a hell of a job on her. If she is alive, she probably still thinks that she was saving the kids that she lured to Furestel. I feel sick just thinking about it. Let's talk about something else, Sultan McFarkles. I'd rather not dwell on this if I don't have to. So he got away just like he said he would. Yes, and he's already putting distance between himself and the Schonbusch forest. How do you want to go about tracking him? Finding Harrow is going to be a full-time job. I can't track him down until we have a great dragon hanging over our heads. Oh, why we still have. After we've dealt with Vauclair and the Firewing, I'll devote myself wholeheartedly to finding that bastard and finishing this. But for now, we need to keep our eyes on the road ahead. Thanks for taking the time to talk. And thanks again. I mean that. Oh, well, hers ended a little more. Oh, and I got the achievement for it. Hers was a little more than I expected. The ending, at least. Alright, we need to actually access the Shadowlands, see if we have pay data. Yep, boom. 540. Do we have pay data for sale? No. We have no new missions, I don't think. Nope. Jobs directory. Pending and active jobs. None. Check the status of the Alice Fund. Transfer 50,000 to Alice's secured cred stick for payment. Sultan McFarkles, please speak with me when you are ready to proceed with Alice's payment. Amsil. So, yep. We need to go ahead and go down here and talk to Amstel and get this shit on the road. I have nothing new for you, Sultan McFarkles. We have no time to waste. If you have Alice's money, we need that information. Get to the rabbit hole and hurry back. We must find Volclair before the Firewing finds us. I need your password to transfer Alice's payment onto a cred stick. Ansel sucks in a deep breath. He suddenly looks as though an enormous weight has been lifted from his shoulders. Yes, very good. Excellent, in fact. This has been a long time coming, Sultan McFarkles. You're telling me. Ansel turns to open a file on his computer. Alright, Sultan McFarkles, before you make this transfer, there are a few things you should know. Firstly, this is a one-way operation. Once the funds have been transferred to the cred stick, the only person who will be able to access them is Alice. As far as the team is concerned, the money will simply disappear. Oh. Well, it's not like we're planning on doing anything else with it anyway. Are you sure we can trust Alice? I am. Believe me, her reputation in the Shadow community is worth far more to her than 50,000 new yen. She'll deliver the information that she promised. Besides, what other choice do we have? We cannot run, and money will do us little good if we're dead. Alright, what was the second thing? Secondly, once you make your way to the rabbit hole with the funds, it's go time. I trust you understand what I mean by that. Yeah, I've got it. It's pretty self-explanatory, Paul. Alright, just remember, once you leave to see Alice, her information will be your only priority. No more distractions and no more side work. I will busy myself canceling your remaining jobs and smoothing any ruffled feathers. Makes sense. Anything else? Just that you need to be sure before committing to this. Time is important. A great dragon wants us dead, and that is nothing to take lightly, but you shouldn't return to the rabbit hole until you have prepared to act. If you have any doubts, then I'd urge you to wait. I understand. I'm ready to proceed. Excellent. The password's Volklingen. Whoa. Once you're en route to the rabbit hole with the funds for Alice's payment, I will cancel the team's remaining obligations. Understood. I have to say, Sultan McFarkles, this lifts an enormous weight off my shoulders. When Monica brought you on board, I was initially unsure about you. I would never have said that to anyone else, of course, but I kept you under a watchful eye. I can see now that I needn't have doubted her judgment. She chose her successor well. Now please, go fetch the information from Alice. We're one step closer to surviving this mess. So once we head to the rabbit hole, there's no turning back. Now, can I go ahead and transfer the money? Oh. Well, crap. I didn't think I was going to have to type it in. Volklingen. No, that's Volklingen. Volklingen. The funds disappear from your account. Moments later, the message pops up on the screen. Transfer complete. Sitting on its dock in the keyboard, a green LED blooms out to life on Alice's cred stick. The trigger has been pulled. The rabbit hole awaits. Alright. Let's go kick some ass. I don't know if I should look and see if there's any more armor spells. I'm pretty loaded up, so we can go see if Cammy has anything new, because Cammy's cool real quick. Hey Cammy. Hey there, how you been? Things are alright. Good, I hope they stay that way. Let me know if they don't alright. I'm always up to help. Okay, yep. Okay, we've ran out of stuff to talk about. Alright, well, it's time to head to the rabbit hole. Eventually, if I can find the thing. Oh. Gotta do one thing. Always got a tip, yo. Always got a tip. I just hope, like, eventually one of these times I do that, she actually says something or something. Maybe. Probably not. You never know. So, travel to the rabbit hole at the Allstat Spandu U-bound station to retrieve Alice's data. Here we go. There's no turning back now, folks. We're actually treading into uncharted lands for me. I've never been this far. The tiny cred stick feels heavy in your pocket, fat with the weight of a hard-won new yen. The U-Bahn station swallows you up and sends you hurtling down the rabbit hole, towards Alice, towards the information you bled for. The train pulls to a stop and the doors hiss open into the dark, old platform. With luck, answers lie ahead. Do they? I don't know. Let's see if they lie ahead. Alright, let's go to the arcade machine. Come on. No, I want to play some Street Fighter. Alice's console stands alone against the filthy wall of the U-Bahn platform. The colorful sprites that flicker across the screen stand in sharp contrast to the surrounding grime. We're going to insert the payment. The cred stick port in the machine greedily accepts your payment. You watch as the black plastic of the cred stick case disappears into the console. Moments later, a message winks onto the screen. Sultan McFarkles, couldn't wait for you any longer. Something is tracking me. Something terrible. You need to get out of town. Go dark for a while. If you're smart, you will too. But a deal's a deal. When you punch the flashing button on the console, it'll spit out an optical chip with your information. Take my advice. Whatever this Volclair business is to you, drop it and run. And for God's sake, Sultan McFarkle, stay out of the Matrix. It isn't safe. The message fades from the screen and the button on the console begins to flash. You can hear the whine of motors spinning up in the arcane cabinet's guts. With a smooth mechanical motion, a generic brand optical chip slides out of the payment port in front of you. Abruptly, the screen goes black. The console powers down. The optical chip sits in the cradle waiting for you to take it. The instant the chip leaves its cradle, the machine reboots itself. You are again alone. Well, time to head back and see what's on this information ship. As you settle in for your trip back to the Compressor Bazaar, you can feel the rest of the world compartmentalize and fall away. No more distractions, just you, the train, and the optical chip. It sits in your pocket like a hot stone, impossible to ignore. The train ramps to speed up, filling the air with monotonous electrical whir. The sound is soft and low and urgent, like the droning wings of an enormous insect. It'd be soothing if your mind weren't occupied with other matters. All at once, the monotony is broken. Your PDA is buzzing. A quick glance at the screen tells you that you're receiving a call and that Paul Amsel is on the other end. Sup, Paul? You hit the receive button on your PDA. One look at the grainy image that blossoms to life on your screen is enough to tell you that something's gone terribly wrong. The strangled sounds of panicked breathing punch through your PDA's tiny speakers. In the image window, you can see the outlines of figures silhouetted against the backdrop of Amsel's shop. The view rotates, bringing them towards the center of the frame. The image sharpens. In the center of the screen stands an enormous orc in battle armor, a hand cannon leveled at something just out of frame. His face is a shiny mat of grafted tissue, his smile like something out of a nightmare. Should we be aggressive? No, let him go, you son of a bitch! The orc doesn't respond. You don't hear your own echo over Amsel's microphone either. He must have muted the volume on your end of the conversation. You watch, powerless as the orc's grin widens. The frantic breaths that you hear coming from off-screen increase in frequency. From off-screen you hear Amsel's frantic voice. Audrin, please, tell me what this is about. What are the Firewing's plans? You're going to kill me anyway. Don't send me to the grave with them. Your stomach drops as the gun bucks and roars in the orc's hands. Your view on the PDA pitches wildly and comes to a sudden stop with a violent cracking sound. A burst of static floods the screen. Moments later, a dark shape falls into view with equivalent force. You hear the unmistakable sound of bone crunching against hardwood. The camera auto-adjusts and the dark shape swims into focus. You're staring into and through the dripping carnivorous ruin of once was a human head. The remnants of the face that remain are enough to confirm what your gut already knows. The body on the screen is that of Paul Amsel. From out of frame, far away, you can hear another voice, a woman, young from the sound of it, with the military cadence. "What now, sir?" "Now we press on our advantage. Jam their comms, Ortega." The sounds of hurried motion recede into the background. "All right, remember, people. Ansel was the brains of the operation, but the rest will put up more fight. Flush them out and take them down, one by one." Another voice chimes in, a young man this time. "Sir, look at Amsel's wrist, the PDA. I think that it's recording." "God fucking damn it." You hear the roar of another gunshot and the screen goes dark. Your vision swims and the screen of your PDA seems to fade away. The impact of what you just witnessed hammers you in the gut over and over again. Amsel is dead, the Krezzer is under attack, and it's entirely possible that an ambush party is already waiting to meet you at the U-Bahn platform. Whatever your attackers have planned, you won't be able to do much about it from here. The train is speeding towards the Krezzer station. No more stops between you and the enemy. Nothing to do but prepare yourself and wait. Here we go! Oh. And by prepare ourselves, there's Jaeger. What's up, Jaeger? The barrel of Jaeger's rifle swings upward. She emerges from cover, turning to face you. "About time he showed up." The light plays off Jaeger's face like a street light on rain-slick asphalt. Her face, neck, and chest are sheeted in slick, dark liquid. Blood. A lot of blood. "Where are you hit?" "I'm not. This little bastard, on the other hand..." Jaeger wipes her mouth with the back of her hand, then hoists a corpse up from behind her makeshift barricade. A young man, maybe in his early 20s, his eyes frozen wide in surprise. What's left of his throat hangs down in ragged flaps. "Made one hell of a mistake." "Nicely done." Jaeger shrugs. "Well, you know what they say. Any weapon at your disposal. Did you meet up with Alice? Do you have the information?" "Yeah, I got it. An optical chip. We'll have to use my commission computer to open it." "Whatever's on that chip, those bastards don't want us to read it. All the more reason to do exactly that. After we put the rest of them into the ground, that is." "Jaeger, they killed Paul. I saw it." Jaeger's expression hardens. "Yeah, I know. He had us all patched in on that call. We all saw what happened. I figured they'd try to ambush you at the platform, ventilate the train, take you out, and cut off a potential escape route in the process." She shrugs. It's what I would do. So I hightailed it out of here and set up an ambush of my own." "Good thinking." Jaeger nods. "Thanks. Anyway, that's enough talk. We've got a job to do." Jaeger swings her rifle up and over her shoulder. "There are an unknown number of hostiles topside. They're well equipped, decently trained, and hell-bent on killing us. Last I heard, Glory was on the north end of town. Dietrich was getting coffee when all hell broke loose. Let's go get him. Let's go hunting." "Oh, yeah!" +1. Yes! We finally have another action point. 3. Wait, where's Blitz? We better have Blitz. +1 action point. Your experience increases your ability to operate in dangerous situations. And we need to go topside. I have a feeling this is going to be longer than 6 minutes. Be longer than 5 minutes. So I think we're going to end here, folks. Next time, we're going to start the big battle. There's going to be combat and adventure. I'm excited because I don't know what's going to happen. So until then, y'all take care. And as always, have a good one.